Hello, friends. This is Scotty. Before the episode begins, I'd just like to say a note. When Andrew and I recorded, I did not have my good microphone plugged in. Therefore, I was being recorded with my computer's microphone. So you might hear a little bit of a different tone to my voice, a little echo. Be assured, though, in future episodes, I am writing a note to make sure I remember to plug my microphone in. As always, thank you for listening and enjoy Scream 6.
You're listening to the Fun with Horror podcast with your hosts, Scotty and Andrew.
But we're not in a sequel, because nobody just makes sequels anymore. We're in a franchise!
Hey everybody, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Scotty.
And welcome to episode 87 of Fun with Horror, the movie review podcast in which two best friends that are long distance give each other horror movies to watch, and then we discuss them the following episode.
We only have two rules here at Fun with Horror. Number one, whichever one of us picks the next movie has to pick a movie he's never seen. And number two, we both have to watch that movie before we discuss it.
Those are facts. And guess what? As another fact, I picked last week's movie. I did the very new Scream 6, directed by Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett, and starring Jenna Ortega, Melissa Barerra, Courteney Cox, and a lot of other people.
And of course, stay tuned until the end of this episode to find out what movie I'm going to pick for our next movie. But Andrew, speaking of facts,
yeah,
have you ever used a fax machine?
I have. Oh yeah.
Okay, just checking. That's all.
Welcome to Outdated Technology with Scotty and Andrew.
Fun with outdated technology.
Fun with outdated tech.
Hi, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, man?
You know, I'm really good. It's wonderful to talk to you. It's wonderful to hear your voice. It's wonderful to see your shining little face.
Oh, stop it. All those things with me as well. For me as well.
For you.
There we go.
Andrew, did you know
What?
that at the beginning of Scream 6, the guy on the background of the phone she's on, he was the writer of Cocaine Bear.
I didn't know that, but I knew I did.
What a
I
long
knew
pause.
that. I know. Well, I was thinking, I'm like, okay. But I knew, oh gosh, what's her name? The girl at the beginning.
Samara
Actress.
Weaving.
Thank you. Wow. I knew she and I believe the same guy, the writer, I believe they're a couple. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So that
Yes.
makes sense. That's awesome.
Yes, it's her husband.
Oh, right on. Okay. There you go. Very cool.
But yeah, we're going to talk about Scream 6, everybody. So this is your little bitty warning that we're going to spoil this movie, very much so. As a matter of fact, we're probably going to spoil some of the other Scream movies. So this is just especially Scream, or Scream 5, as we like to call it.
Right. Yep. But it's I'm with you. There might be a couple in there that I throw in, so we'll see. We'll see.
Smaller, but definitely Scream 6. But I mean, who's watching Scream 6 without watching the other 5, right? Right? Who watches them out of order?
Come on.
Okay. Andrew,
yes.
You know what I would love?
What would you love, friend?
I would love for you to give me a 3-minute recap of Scream 6. Could you do that for me?
I can, but I'm going to skip out on a bunch of it and probably spend too much time on the intro. So here.
Hey, you know what? As long as you hit the key points for anybody who is listening that hasn't seen the movie,
right?
They're like, you know what? I would love to know what the plot of this movie is beginning to finish in 3 minutes.
Zoinks. All right.
Whenever you're ready.
Oh boy. All right.
I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of bleak time.
So the movie starts in New York. We see, as we mentioned, Sam Weaving. She's a teacher. She gets killed and immediately by Ghostface. And immediately Ghostface takes off the mask and we see the face of the killer. The killer goes home. He has a roommate that he's talking to, or so we think, but it's actually the real killer who kills him and has killed his roommate. So we don't know who this Ghostface is. Jump to Sam and Tara, who are now in New York, living together with their roommate, Quinn. Quinn has a father who is a police officer. The twins are still alive. Chad, the twin that from the last movie, has a new roommate as well. And we also see that Gail, Courtney Cox, is back as well. So everyone in the Glass movie is here. Of course, Ghostface starts kills Quinn, their roommate. The father, who's a police officer, is now mad and wants to help them find these killers. And Kirby from movie 4 also shows up, and she is now working for the FBI, I believe. Gail, through her fancy reporting skills, finds out that the two that were killed at the beginning of the movie wanted to kill Tara and Sam and have this elaborate building that they bought, or old movie theater, I should say. And inside, there's all this memorabilia from all the previous killings. So every Ghostface outfit's in there, as well as victims' weapons and clothing, and everything is in there. It's a nice shrine to the killers. Of course, throughout the movie, as we've seen in all the Scream movies, everyone is attacked for the most part. One on the bus, there's just a lot of attacks. Gail gets stabbed. In the end, though, there's a big fight, of course, reveal that there are 3 killers in this movie. This happens at the movie theater area. The killers are the police officer, who I'm totally drawn a blank, Quinn's dad. We'll talk about him in a second. I'm not going to look up his name. Quinn and Chad's new roommate. They are the 3 killers, but they all have something in common. They are family of Richie, the killer, in the last movie, and they want revenge to kill Tara and Sam. However, of course, as we've seen in these movies, our heroes prevail. They kill the bad guys, or bad group, I should say, and leave. And what's the kicker of this one is all of the heroes in this movie live. No one dies. The only ones to die are the bad people. There you go. That's the movie in a nutshell.
Amazing. You know,
Thanks, man.
That was maybe the best recap you've ever done.
Wow. Thanks, dude. Woo, that was hard.
Difficult. We like to say difficult around here.
You're right. It was
hard.
difficult.
Hard has a different meaning.
You're right.
In my household. Sorry. I don't know why I said that.
Welcome to Fun with Hard.
Andrew.
Yes.
What did you think of Scream 6, my friend?
Honestly, from the second this movie started and we saw this fun intro, I said, this is new, this is different, I'm on board. And throughout the movie, I loved it. I think Scream is one of my favorite franchises, and this movie is just another great addition to it. What about you?
Well, my thoughts, so my quick short thoughts are that this is probably, for me, the most predictable of all the Scream movies.
Yep.
Very predictable, as a matter of fact.
Yep. Agreed.
And I did have issues, but despite my issues, I just had a great time watching this movie. I thought it was a very fun movie, and I'm willing to allow some of my faults with the movie in the interest of having a good time watching a film.
Agreed. Yep.
And I thought it was I thought it was well done and a good entry in the series.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. I agree with you 100%, buddy. Everything you said.
My biggest thing that I'm going to say, though, is that if anybody wants to go back and listen to our Scream 5 episode, which we did,
please do.
I think I said in that one that I liked it, but I'd be okay if it ended, if that was it. But I don't feel that way with this one. I'm looking forward to Scream 7.
Nice. That's awesome. I love that. I totally agree. Yep. Like I said, this has become, I think it's always been, it's just one of my favorite franchises. I think they're just fun movies. Plain and simple.
Agreed. Now let's get into this because I've got
Yes.
some things to say, and I think you do too.
I do, and I do have some dislikes. I definitely
You
do.
do.
I do, yeah.
Can we start with a like though?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
want to lead off with one thing.
I love it. Go for it.
Even though this isn't my favorite of the Scream movies, maybe,
Mhm.
no matter what I feel about the rest of the movie, I honestly felt that the subway scene, the subway sequence,
Yep.
was maybe the scariest, most intense sequence in all six movies.
I completely agree.
And bravo to the filmmakers for the way that was filmed and done. It was just unbelievably good.
Yep. I agree. It was a brilliant scene. And even if you've watched I think it was just the teaser,
Yeah,
it's
the
kind of a
teaser.
piece of that scene. And so if you haven't seen like that's a great little moment. It kind of captures a tiny bit of that moment, which is it was enough to feed my appetite wanting or give me made me want more.
Did you see the full trailer?
No, I think I only ever saw the teaser of them on the subway, and then that was it.
I have heard, I have
Mm-hmm.
not watched it yet, but I have
Mm-hmm.
heard that they actually spoil pretty much the Mindy, quote unquote, death,
Right, right, right. Really?
the stabbing. Yeah, I heard that there's a shot of Ghostface standing over Mindy or something. So
Oh, geez.
stupid trailers.
I know. Seriously, come on. We don't want spoilers. Get it together.
So now that we've said that, here's another
Mhm.
question I have for you, buddy.
Okay.
When this movie started, the first
Mm-hmm.
like half hour of this movie, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
did it remind you of anything in particular that you and I have enjoyed recently?
The first half hour, is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah. And I'm going to be careful about this because I don't want to spoil too much something else.
Okay. Man, I'm
But
trying to go through like the first half hour. Oh,
here, I'll give you a
is
hint. I don't know
I'm tr-
what that means.
I'm trying to do like I'm trying
Andrew
to
is
do
making goggle face with his
like
hands.
what am I doing? What am I? I'm
You're looking for something. I don't know, man.
all
I'm
right.
terrible
Never
at
mind.
charades right now. This
All
has
right.
nothing to
Sorry,
do with
dude.
what
No,
I'm
I'm
thinking.
doing. I don't know. I'm doing terrible too.
Clown in a Cornfield 2, Friendo Lives, the book.
Oh, good. Yep.
Did you think
Yep.
of that at
I
all?
didn't, but you're totally
What?
right.
I thought for sure you would.
But totally.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
as soon as it started, because I remember, okay, without spoilers,
Right.
everybody, because if you haven't read Clown in a Cornfield and Clown in a Cornfield 2 by Adam Cesare, you need to go read them because they're
They're
really
great.
fun.
Yep.
Andrew and I have read both,
Yes.
but without spoiling too much, the beginning of Clown in a Cornfield 2 deals with a survivor from the first book and people on social media coming up with a conspiracy that she was the killer and
Right.
killed everybody, and she's the reason, basically, that she was the bad guy in the first book or whatever.
Yep. You're right.
So when Scream 6 starts, and
Mm-hmm.
there's the same kind of conspiracy with Sam,
Yep.
it was like, man, did these guys rip off Clown in a Cornfield too? And I know they probably didn't. It's probably
Right.
just,
Right.
it's a brilliant idea in this day and age. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so let's go over what what our faults with this movie were.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Well, you mentioned it one kind of in what you're talking about. Very predictable. We Cindy and I had it figured out. We watched with Kylie, who had already seen it. So I was expecting her to be more impressed, but we're not very cool in her eyes, so nothing impresses her. But yeah, the second we saw the police officer, the dad,
Yeah.
we were like, yeah, it's him. And then Cindy was the one that caught this, but when Sam was on the phone with the killer, she's like, that killer sounds really aggressive, like personal. And she's like, I bet it's family of the guy in the last one. And I was like, dang, I bet you're right. So we had it.
Wait. So you guessed the dad. You guessed Dermot
And
Mulroney.
Quinn. We didn't guess the other roommate.
When did you guess Quinn?
Same time, we were like, oh yeah, Quinn's not. because then I think she died, and we're like, no, she's not dead. We're like, they've done this before, so yeah.
So you said two interesting things in there.
Okay.
I also guessed Dermot Mulroney,
Yeah,
Officer
yeah.
Bailey, I think,
Yeah,
Detective
I know.
Bailey.
I need to put his name down. I love Dermot, though. He's a good guy.
Yes, he's a good guy.
Good guy.
But yes, I also guessed Detective Bailey.
Nice.
And we actually paused the movie because Mary was guessing people, and I said, it's Detective Bailey. And
Yeah.
and I said, look, there's only the reason it's him is because only he would have access to all of the past masks.
Yep. My thought too.
But then he came out of the apartment building, and here's the thing, interesting thing. When he came out of the apartment building after Quinn, quote unquote, died,
Right.
my thought was, would he kill his own daughter? That's where my mind
Oh.
went for some reason. And Mary was the one who said he and his daughter were working together. And then I was like,
Mm.
oh, right. Well, we didn't actually see him kill her.
Right. Right.
So, yes, it's him and his daughter. And then right after that, he's talking to, I believe, Sam.
Uh-huh.
And he says something that if, something about I'll kill anybody who touches my kids.
Right. Yep.
So and I caught the double meaning in that, and I was like, oh, he's Richie's dad.
Right. Nice.
Now I will say that while that was very predictable,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, but I would like to say kudos to the creators for Ethan.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't have him figured out. Mm-mm.
He was kind of an obvious choice to me,
Right.
and so obvious that I said, oh, it's not him.
Right.
They're making it look like him. And the subway scene was the best misdirect in the entire movie, in my opinion.
Fair.
Because he's on the subway car with Mindy when she gets stabbed, and he's there for her.
Right. Right.
So, but of course, when two ghost faces show up on either side of Detective Bailey at the end,
Right.
then I was like, oh, it is
Yep.
Ethan.
Yep.
Although part of me was like, please don't be Stumacher. Please don't be Stumacher.
No. Although they throw in that line on this one, because I know people want Stu back, and I love Matthew Lillard. I always have. He's so fun. But they said, like, do you think a TV would really kill someone? Or something like that. There's a line thrown out in this one.
Yeah, something about
like,
Stumacher.
Are they setting up some Stu showing back up at some point? Maybe. I don't know. Seeds planted, though, so we'll see.
I don't know. Well, I don't remember the first movie as well as most people.
Mm-hmm.
He was pretty dead, though, right?
I mean, he gets stabbed. Yeah, and then the Sydney, pushes the TV off over his head, and I feel like he gets electrocuted, but I'm not positive. I just remember the TV going on him, and I can't remember if he shakes.
He's the one that got the TV on him?
Yep, Stu did.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm. But that's why, yeah, in this one they said, like, I feel like, I don't remember who it was, but someone said something like, would a TV really kill someone? Or something along those lines, where I was like, we haven't heard from Stu, or I don't remember. It was some line, though. And I was like, interesting. That's not a throwaway line. We'll
Well, I kind of took it as them drawing attention to the fact that a lot of people kept saying that Stumacher was coming back.
Right. Then maybe that's what it is.
Maybe I thought they were poking fun at that, but who knows?
Yeah, I never know with these movies.
You never know. What else?
So that was my big one. It was predictable. Whatever. It was still fun.
Yeah.
But my other one, which I went, okay. They did the same thing in the last movie, where everyone was fine at the end, even though they'd been stabbed 75 times. And I was like,
yes,
you are kidding me. The twins, I love them. They're great characters. Should have died. I mean, with the especially Chad. Chad got it bad. And when he showed up at the end, Cindy and I looked at each other and we just went, oh my gosh, that guy, there's no way. There's no way.
He's not the one that made me roll my eyes as much.
Oh, really?
Even though I was like, really?
Right.
For me, it was Mindy. Not because she couldn't survive being stabbed twice in the gut.
Right.
But because she was like running around like nothing was like
Yes.
like she had broken her wrist or something. And also Tara.
Yeah, yeah,
So Tara was stabbed in the back shoulder blade. Then she was shot in the leg. And
yep,
then she was stabbed in the stomach.
yep,
But she's just walking down the street with Sam at the end, like no limp, nothing.
yep.
So yeah, the amount of stabbings that these people can take
Yeah, it's
are
impressive.
ridiculous.
Yep. It's that threw me off at the end, and I was like, oh, that's such a dumb way to end it too. Like, I had all this fun, and then all of a sudden everyone's just fine. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, I'm okay. So it's not the fact that they survive. That's fine to me.
Right, 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 right.
It's them acting like it's no big deal. Like I'm okay with, sorry, what's Sam's boyfriend's name? Or Tara,
Chad.
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 I'm okay with Chad being alive. And I was
Right.
okay with him because at least he was like in a stretcher,
Right, 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 right.
being
True.
taken to an ambulance. And I was
True.
a little bit mad at Tara for pulling off his oxygen mask and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
let him be. He just got stabbed like 20 times.
Yes.
Evidently they edited out some stabs because other people felt the same way. So it was like 14 stabs and now it's like under 10.
Oh my gosh. But I will say with Chad, like both the two ghost faces at the time go on either side of him and put the knife in him and then lift. And I was like, there's no way. Like that, they shredded him up. I don't know,
At
whatever.
least he was in a stretcher, my friend.
You're
That's all I'm
right. I
saying.
know. I know.
At least he looked hurt.
You're right. Yeah.
Unlike Mindy, who was running around like a dancer, and then Tara.
Yeah.
You know,
You're right. No, yeah, it's fair. Yeah.
I mean, but everybody that was kind of I didn't mind people surviving overall. I will say that.
I liked it because they even went at the when the twin I forget what's her name.
Mindy,
Mindy, gosh. When Mindy's talking about it and she's like, none of us, the movie rules,
the core
none of us are
four.
safe. We can all die in this one. And none of them did. So I was like, that's kind of a fun challenge to that rule. So I liked that. I was fine with them all living, but I just felt that they should have died with the wounds that they had.
The core four.
Yes, the core four. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm also glad Gail survived.
Me too. I was too. Yep. Yep. I really thought that she was when she got stabbed. I was like, oh, this is her last hurrah too. Like David Arquette, they're
Yeah.
finishing these. But yeah, she lived, so I was happy.
Yeah, okay. So even the creators, the
Mm-hmm.
directors, the here's the thing. I listened to the commentary track on this.
Uh-huh.
It's it's the writers, it's the two directors, it's all these people, and I have no idea who was saying what because
Oh
they
gosh.
all sound kind of like similar,
Yeah.
and it was hard to like know who was talking at a certain time. So I'm sorry if I don't know exactly who said what when I mention it, but they did say that uh, they said that this series of movies lives in a heightened reality
Mm.
in which people I'm trying to find exactly what they said,
Uh-huh.
but it's basically it's they live in a heightened reality where people's their wounds heal more quickly than normal.
Okay.
And they kind of laughed about it too. They were
Okay.
like, "Yeah, Mindy probably should have been limping at least or something at
Oh.
the end."
Well, at least they own it. That's good.
So that was my other
Nice.
quibble with the
Those
movie too.
those were my two big ones. That's all I have, but funny. I'm glad we had the same things. What did you have any more?
Well, my other thought
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
was, and I go back and forth on this.
Okay.
So at the beginning, as you
Mm.
mentioned in your beautiful recap, Samara Weaving is killed
Yes.
by a ghost face.
Mhm.
We see the famous slash, the
Right.
ghost face slashes, but it does not go into the title card. The scene continues, and Ghostface immediately takes his mask off.
Hmm.
And it's Tony Revolori from Spider-Man,
Spider-Man, Flash Thompson.
and Willow, I believe, the TV
Right.
series. And I thought that was brilliant.
Me too.
And I thought, oh, are we actually going to know who Ghostface is? But then they kill him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real Ghostface kills him.
Right.
And I couldn't help thinking, wouldn't it have been a cooler movie? Would it have?
Mm-hmm.
Let me say it that way. Would it have been a cooler movie if we spent most of the movie thinking that we knew who the killer was?
Mm.
And they carry it to the point where at first the audience is like, okay, well, there's going to be a different Ghostface. But no, we keep seeing Tony Revolori,
Mm-hmm.
or Jason. His character's name is Jason.
Of course.
We see Jason putting on the mask and killing people. And then maybe by the time we get to the subway, things switch up and he actually gets killed on the subway and we find out, oh no, there's another Ghostface in town.
I like that. I do like that. That would have been fun.
But would that have been predictable in itself? Would people have been waiting for that shoe to drop?
I don't know, because it would kind of go against the formula. So
It does.
maybe people would be like, oh, this is a cool take. Like, I like this. And it might have been, I'd have to really think about it. I don't know. I feel like it might have surprised people just because it is something different,
Yeah.
totally new.
And I think it would have lent a different feeling to some of the things we're used to seeing in Scream movies, like, for instance, Mindy's monologue about franchises. Like, how cool would that have been if she's giving this monologue, but we know who the killer is that entire time? And we see her guessing, but we know that it's Jason, and he's sitting there, right there with them. I don't know, man. I just think that would have been cool, and I think they kind of blew that moment. Like, now that they've unmasked the killer at the beginning and then killed him, they can't really do it again, can they?
Right. Although I have to admit, it would be cool to see, even without like a twist in there, just to see the other side of things, like follow the killer through the movie.
Yeah.
And still obviously have our leads and stuff, but that would be kind of an interesting take too. And still know who it is by the end. I mean, just it's that person or those people.
And you'd be nervous. You'd be nervous if he was in the room alone with one of our favorites.
I kind of like that idea. That could be a really cool. I mean, we're at 6 movies.
Yeah.
They can kind of do anything, you know.
Yeah, but like I said, they've already unmasked the killer at the beginning of the movie. Like, can they do that again?
Right.
Like, I think they kind of blew it a little bit, but I don't know.
I don't know, man. I'm excited to see what they do. I'll be happy.
I have tiny little nitpicky things.
Okay, please. Yeah, let's hear them.
But all of this said is with love for this movie.
Right.
But see, this is interesting about what you said, actually. So one of my things is that I love Roger Jackson. I love his voice as Ghostface. Yes. I love that he's always back, that this voice box that they use is his voice.
Right.
But I realize now this is 6 movies in, and he always sounds the same to me. He always, to me, has the same inflection and everything. And it would be interesting if he changed up how he said things a little bit more.
I get that. Yeah. Because it's
but
people, obviously.
You said he sounded more aggressive at times.
Right. Well, Cindy was the one that caught that one. She just said he sounds like he's got a vendetta at this point.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. But I do like that idea, though, of just some inflection. Inflection? Is that the right word? Inflection?
Inflection, yeah.
Inflection, there we go. Yeah, it would be kind of interesting. Like, just a little bit of some difference. But, I mean, again, it's a horror franchise, and we're so used to his voice that would people be like, he's doing something weird. I don't like that.
Well, by this point, maybe, but I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I thought about it during the second movie, I thought about it during my second viewing of 6 of this movie, because I started to realize that when it's him talking, I feel like it's a completely different character from the actual killers. I never picture the killers themselves talking to whoever it is. Like, for instance, Gale.
Right.
When Gale's talking to Ghostface, I don't think of it as her talking to Detective Bailey or Ethan or Quinn.
Right.
I feel like she's talking to Ghostface, and it would kind of be cool if I go back and watch a second time and realize, oh wow, this is Ethan that's talking to her.
Yeah,
Also, there's three different Ghostfaces, so the fact that Ghostface sounds the same in every single phone call,
you're right. Yeah,
even when Sam has the voice box.
right, right.
Detective Bailey, let me ask you something. What's your
Right.
favorite scary movie? And it's like and one thing that was funny in the commentary, the directors even mentioned that when Gail's on the phone
Hmm.
and he mentions that this is her first Ghostface call after all
Oh,
this
right.
time, they're like, how would he know that?
You're...
How would
That's
Richie's family know
true.
that? And then somebody else pipes up and he says, well, Gail's written many books,
Yeah,
and a true fan would have read all these books.
that's fair. We'll go with that. But I didn't even catch that. It's totally true. I like that. That commentary sounds kind of awesome. I don't know if I like that many people in there, but I do like that they call out some things. I
Yeah,
appreciate that. That's
yeah.
good.
They're a little self-deprecating at times. Buddy, did you know
Lay it on me.
that the restaurant at the beginning of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
it is named Asta El Fuego, and that is the name. The creators of the movie, the writers and the directors and all,
Uh-huh.
they created a chat group during the pandemic. And after a while, they eventually called their chat group Asta El Fuego. So that's a little inside joke.
That's awesome. I love it. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Um,
Oh, that's sweet. I feel like if
did
we
you?
wrote a movie and like the main
Yeah.
characters at the beginning are like, "Welcome to Fun with Horror," your
Oh,
nonstop shop.
speaking of, my friend,
Ooh, yeah.
here's my other quibble with this movie.
Oh, okay. Okay.
In Jason's apartment, we see a poster for the last podcast on the left. There's another poster for the We Hate Movies podcast. I didn't see a poster for Fun with Horror.
Bunch of crap. Not
No,
those
seriously.
podcasts. Not those podcasts, but that we aren't there.
Seriously, holy goals, Batman.
Yeah, oh my gosh, dude.
If a horror movie creative unit liked our podcast enough to put our logo somewhere in it or mention our podcast somewhere in the movie, especially Scream,
Oh my gosh. That would be a dream come true.
I would have so much fun with that horror.
Let's just say there would be zero dislikes from that movie from us.
Yeah,
If you're listening,
no quibbles
creators.
whatsoever.
Nope.
10 out of 10 favorite movie ever.
Yep. Yep. Watch, we'll get some director that does something and puts our post, and it's just a horribly
Yeah. Yeah.
just like really offensive movie. And oh gosh, what have we done?
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, featuring Fun with Horror.
Oh no.
Best movie ever.
So good.
Did you notice that, of course, when Jason goes back to his apartment,
Mm-hmm.
the movie playing is Jason Takes Manhattan?
Oh, I did not even catch that, dude. Yes. Of course,
Little
Jason,
on
New
the nose.
York. Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
Oh, that's actually kind of awesome.
I did, as much as I wanted to see him go through part of the movie at least.
Mm-hmm.
His death was he was really good. Tony Revolori.
Yeah, yeah.
When he's getting stabbed by Ghostface,
Yep.
his cries of pain and such were so good and so realistic. Like I felt pain for him.
I would absolutely agree with that. Yeah. And yeah, he's good anyway. I've always liked him. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
But I even liked the moment where he realizes it's not his friend who he's talking to, because that was good too. I mean, you can see the fear kind of enter him and go, uh-oh.
Wait, are you talking about the moment when he opens up the fridge and he sees his friend beheaded in the fridge?
I thought he finds out before that. I thought he kind of figures it out and goes, this isn't, am I wrong?
I think he starts to maybe doubt, but he's still like kind of just walking around the apartment like all right.
Oh, I guess maybe I dreamt it. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I thought he did.
I don't think he really truly realizes until he sees his decapitated roommate.
Which was pretty awesome. I love that the whole body was in there too. Like that's a nice little
Yeah.
visual. That's a good way to start out the movie.
I did notice during my second watch that
Mhm.
when Ghostface is talking to him on the phone, he does refer to Samara Weaving's character as our film professor, which, okay, yeah, if it's his roommate,
Right, right,
Ghostface is pretending he is his roommate.
right.
That makes sense. But if it's Ethan or Quinn, I believe they're also in that film class.
Makes sense. I like it.
I mean, I would not have caught that the first time, but the second time I was
No.
like, oh, that's a nice little touch.
Right. Did you catch the line that Quinn says? And you might
Wait,
have it written down.
hang on, buddy. Ziggy, leave Bowie alone. Ziggy, come here. All right, leave her alone. Sorry, man. Ziggy
No,
the
you're
horror
good.
cat.
Ziggy
Ziggy
the
the
horror
horror
cat
cat, ladies and gentlemen,
making an appearance.
tormenting his sister cat. What were you saying?
No, I was gonna say. Speaking of Quinn, did you catch the line that she says to Tara, Sam? I don't remember one of them, where she goes, "Yeah, since my brother died," or something along those
Yes.
lines. Okay, okay. I
The
didn't.
second
I
time I watched it.
Okay. Yeah. I watched like some, I forget what, something afterward, and I saw that line. I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah, she
I
mentions
didn't
her
catch it.
brother dying in a car accident, and I was like,
Mm.
it's Richie. Yeah, I thought there was a bunch of nice little things like that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, the kills in this movie were great
Whew,
though.
they were great. I would,
Even the
some
fake
of,
kills.
yeah. Yep. I would say this one was one of the more bloody movies for sure. Um,
More bloody, but also very it was like Scream 5,
mhm.
and this is a credit to the directors. They really know how to pull off a good death performance from their actors.
Yep, completely agree with that.
Everybody was so good. Tony Revolori was great when he was dying. Samara Weaving, of course, with her very distinctive scream.
Yes.
You just really feel their pain when they die.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God, like the times you see the knife go in the skin,
I know.
like the
Oh,
psychiatrist when he gets stabbed in the face,
oh yeah, dude. Oh.
when Annika, which was
Mhm.
Mindy's girlfriend, played by Devin Nakota,
Oh yeah. Oh
when she gets
yeah. Oh
stabbed in the stomach and the knife, he just rips the knife up a little bit.
yes.
Painful, and it looked
Yeah.
so real. It
I
was
know.
good.
It was. Oh, that whole scene.
Yeah, and then yeah, that's I mean, but then here we go again. Like, would she have had the strength to even get
Right.
on that ladder?
Right.
Come
I
on,
don't think so,
come on,
but
guys. But then of course, like she falls off the ladder, and it's not enough that she falls off the ladder to her death. She has to like slam into a dumpster.
on her head, like her head cracks. Oh,
Exactly.
I I watched that. Cindy looked away for a second. She's like, "This is too much." Thinking that, hi, Kitty. She was like, oh, I don't want to see this. And then when the head hits, she's like looking away, and she just hears me go, oh,
Oh man, so she heard your reaction instead of
yeah,
actually seeing the death. That's
yes,
fantastic.
it was awesome.
Man, I got so much here. I loved Josh Segarra as Danny, the other guy in the apartment that
Oh yeah,
Sam is
yes, kind of
getting busy
seeing
with.
her. Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep, yep.
I like him in anything I see him in. He's just got a
Yeah,
really distinctive style to him.
yes, totally.
But I love the fact that he was such a good guy in this.
Right? I know.
At
And no
every
one
turn.
trusts him. Everyone thinks he's like a skis baller. He's gonna be. He's super nice.
Well, even the whole time I was like, please don't be Ghostface.
Right. Yep.
Because I was like, this is so refreshing, like somebody who's really cool.
Yep.
And at
Yep.
the end, when they're about to go in the theater, and she's like, you have to stay. Don't trust anyone. Remember, he's like, I totally get it.
Yep.
And I was like, "Aw." And then he
I
gets the
know.
cops.
Yep. Yep. Although Cindy at that moment was like, "Well, then why the heck did you bring him the whole way?" Like, It's like, yeah,
Well, she didn't want to
poor
put him
guy.
in the kill box with them.
Fair, 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 fair.
So she was kind of being a good guy too.
Yeah,
But also she was like being not trustworthy. You're going to be in the kill box.
right,
Don't bring the killer in, even though the killers were there. Whatever.
right. But
But
just in
then
case, I get that.
the commentary, the guys on the commentary made fun of the fact that when he shows up with the cops at the end,
Uh-huh.
they're like, "Yeah, that's normal, right?" Like the civilian who called the cops gets to like rush in with at the forefront of the cops. Like
That's
that's something that
amazing.
happens.
I love that, dude. That commentary sounds amazing.
They're fun. They're a lot of fun. They're
Which
huge
makes
fans
sense.
of
These are,
yeah.
yeah, these are fun movies. It makes sense.
Now they didn't really get into it, but there were a couple references to the Addams family in Wednesday. Like first of all, in the psychiatrist's office at the beginning,
Uh-huh.
he's got he's a horror fan. You
Right,
know,
right.
we see him later, I believe, watching Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah, that's right.
But when he's talking to Sam, if you look to his right, there's all these little figurines, and they're the Addams family.
Oh, cool. I did not catch that.
And then at the house party,
Uh-huh.
the one of the first costumes we see is a girl dressed as Wednesday Addams.
I did see that. I caught that one. Yep.
Yeah, I thought that
Yep.
was very cool.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, let's segue from that
Hmm.
to the other reason I absolutely love the subway scene,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
and I know you did too,
Yeah,
which
it was great.
was just looking at all the costumes and trying to figure out who
Yes.
everyone was.
Well, I saw, of course, uh, David Bowie was in there, or Ziggy Stardust. Actually, I think.
Yeah, David Bowie, but
Right, but as
more like
yeah,
all the horror icons.
right. No, I know, but for just to shout out, of course, your kitties. I
Oh
was like,
yeah, thank you,
oh, there
thank
we
you.
go. Yeah, there was so many. I loved it. I loved that scene. It was awesome.
Okay, speaking of my kitties,
Yeah.
there's a showdown happening right now. Bowie is next to me, and Ziggy is just staring her down. He wants to pounce on her.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm gonna. This is live on the podcast. I'm gonna say, Ziggy, stop it. No, no. Now
You're
he's
in
looking down. He's
trouble.
he's actually walking around the Skinamarink phone, so maybe he'll get haunted. Stop it, dude. Stop it.
That's that's so weird. I see a Barbie doll on your ceiling.
Hey,
Anyway.
oh, spoilers.
Sorry.
That's, can you
I don't
spoil
know.
Skinamarink?
I don't know if you can spoil that movie.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, so many costumes. There was, I don't know. I think every movie was pretty much
Yeah.
represented there. You had all
Yep.
the big ones. I don't remember seeing Chucky though. Do you remember seeing
I
Chucky?
don't think I did see Chucky. I'm
I
trying to
mean, I
think.
saw I saw Georgie from It.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep.
I even saw, of course, they had to put in Samara Weaving's character from Ready or Not.
That's
I
pretty
saw the
awesome. Yep.
Babadook. The Babadook was
That's
there.
right. I did see the Babadook.
Yeah, that was so much fun, and that's why I could watch that scene over and over because it's just fun to like look at all the costumes.
Right. Well, and then I'm trying to think too, because in the fifth one, she even talks about like elevated horror, and I know she mentions Babadook, so I'm wondering if
Oh,
any of the
that's
other
right.
ones are
Oh,
there as
nice.
well. Yeah.
That's a nice reference. I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't remember that.
I'm trying to think what else she meant. Hereditary, I think, might have been one, but so I don't know if there was an outfit there.
Who
But
knows?
yeah,
Maybe.
I don't know. Kind of fun.
Here's the other thing. Have you seen Avatar: The Way of Water?
I have not yet. I still haven't.
So I went through the entire movie of Scream 6
Uh-huh.
thinking to myself, I've seen Ethan somewhere. I've seen him somewhere. And I made sure I did not look it up until the movie was over because I didn't want to be looking at my phone during the movie.
Yeah.
After it was over, I look it up, and sure enough, he's a very major character in Avatar: The Way of Water. So when you see Avatar 2, you'll recognize him right away when you see him.
Was he also, did he have one line in Avengers Endgame? I'm curious if that's the same kid. Because there's one
No.
kid from Avengers Endgame that is also an Avatar.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. That's like one of the main people he He filmed it's when Paul Rudd is there and he goes,
Oh my
Paul Rudd
God,
just
he
says, "What
is.
happened?" Okay, it's him. Okay, cool.
I'm looking in IMDb and he is Kid on Bike in
Yeah,
Avengers
it's
Endgame.
when Paul Rudd's there and says, "What happened?" I forget what he says, but
That's him?
yeah, it's him.
That's one of my top 5 movies of all time.
Movie's fantastic, buddy.
Anyway, fun with MCU, fun with
There you
Marvel.
go.
Yeah, I like Jack Champion a lot. And now I want to go back and watch the beginning of Endgame just so I can see him again.
Right. He's a lot younger. I'll say that. He's pretty young in that.
Here's a quibble.
Okay. All right. I love that word.
Not to be confused with Quibi, but never mind.
I don't
Some
know.
people out there know that reference. Be happy if you don't. Anyway, when Tara and Chad are in her bedroom and they're about to kiss,
Mm-hmm.
and Quinn opens the door and they're
Right.
cock blocked.
Yep.
I thought about reality, and I thought any time I've ever been in any kind of situation like that, there's no way that, like, the guy's about to finally kiss this girl that he likes,
Right.
and they get interrupted. There's no way he's leaving that room. He's gonna
Right.
wait till that door closes and then get his kiss.
Right. It's totally true.
Oh man, come
Like,
on.
I better go.
Yeah,
See ya.
The moment's been ruined. I'm gonna leave now. What'd you think of the bodega scene, the little supermarket? Ghostface with a shotgun.
I thought that was cool. I liked it. Yeah, it was something. Again, there was just some different moments in this movie. We've never. Well, that's not necessarily true. We've seen a Ghostface with guns, but they aren't wearing the Ghostface mask in the second one.
Okay.
That happens. So seeing like Ghostface to Ghostface holding a shotgun was pretty horrifying, man.
Yeah.
I was like, that's scary. We've not.
It was very scary. And the commentary, they make a mention of, they put their finger on something that I was trying to realize but didn't.
Mm-hmm.
That in any other movie, when they go into a little grocery store or something, they're in a safe place. And even during that moment, I'm like, yeah, go in there, get into a crowded area. But it didn't help because Ghostface just comes in and just starts killing everybody in there.
That's totally true. That's good. That's
That's
like horror movies where there's scares during the daytime. To me, I'm always like,
yes.
Oh no, that's not supposed to happen. So I like that totally.
I also like that they had a little Jurassic Park moment in there where she throws the can to distract Ghostface. What? Did you know?
I'm probably not.
That that when Danny is seeing Ghostface, quote unquote, standing over Quinn,
right,
and he's trying to yell at everybody else to warn them, that was actually Jack Champion in the costume.
Oh, really?
Jack Champion, before he ever got cast in this movie, was a huge Scream fan.
Awesome.
He showed them, when he got cast, he showed them pictures of him standing in the lobby in front of the Scream 5 poster and everything. And he was so excited. And one thing, except for Dermot Mulroney, they didn't tell anybody who the Ghostface killers were.
Oh, cool.
Until they got fit for their costumes. And then what they would do is they'd say, like, for instance, Jack Champion comes in. And they fit him for his Ethan outfits.
Right.
And then, like, before you go, we got one more that we want to fit you for. And they give him the Ghostface outfit. And they said his face when they gave him that outfit was priceless. He was so excited to be one of them.
What a sweetheart. I love that story. That is awesome. That's awesome.
He wanted to film a scene as Ghostface. So in that scene when he's standing over Quinn and then he goes into the bathroom, that's Jack Champion.
That's awesome. I have to admit, if I was cast as Ghostface, I would want to be there for every scene, like as Ghostface. I wouldn't want any stand-ins. I'd want to be there. That'd be fun.
You do. But watch the movie again and see how much those stunt people that are playing Ghostface, what they go through.
You are absolutely right. Yeah, Ghostface definitely gets smushed a bunch, especially in this one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're right. But it would be fun to be there at least.
Oh, heck yeah. I would totally do that.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Let's see. Oh, this is another thing I had a question about. So
Okay.
again, this is something I didn't think about till my second viewing of the movie. The first viewing, I just kind of accepted that, yeah, that was Quinn with prosthetics on. Okay, but how did he really do that? How did Detective Bailey?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of cops there. And there's just one kind of throwaway line later in the movie where he says that body swapping and prosthetics and a grieving father can get away with anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but still.
Yeah, that doesn't cool, right?
What are the logistics of this? How does he swap a body?
Yeah.
How does he get all these cops to believe that she doesn't really have her throat slashed?
Yeah. Doesn't quite work.
And the ambulances.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I guess we're in that heightened sense of reality.
Yeah, you just gotta kind of give it to him.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
Oh man, I'm sorry, man. I have all these quibbles, and I knew I would think of them while we're talking.
That's all good. That's all right.
Okay, this is a good and bad. Mindy's big speech scene where she talks about franchises and whatnot.
Right.
To me, it kind of felt a little forced this time. Like in other movies, that speech, that conversation has happened a little bit more naturally.
Yeah.
Like in Scream 5, it was Dewey sitting with everybody and he was telling everybody and kind of trying to warn people.
Right.
And then she jumped up and she's like, we're in a requel and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one, suddenly they're just all outside of the college and she's doing her speech. And she was great.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Jasmin Savoy-Brown, incredible.
Yeah, she's awesome. Yep.
Incredible. But yeah, the speech just felt a little forced this time.
I get that. I get that. But I feel like I totally get it. And it could have been more natural. I feel like they have to have the speech. That's kind of like a staple of Scream.
Right, but any other Scream movie, I think the challenge should be working that in instead of just here's our speech scene.
I get that. Yeah, that's fair.
Finding a new original way to work in the speech. That said, I'm glad she's not dead because so that she can have the speech in 7.
Right. Yeah.
Although I have no idea what she's going to say because it feels like everything has been said. But
yeah.
So there was that. I still don't like Ghost Billy Loomis.
Yeah, I knew you wouldn't. I know.
I didn't like it in Scream 5. I didn't like it in this one. I was just like, come on, man, stop it. Stop.
It's always good to I always like to see Skeet.
I like to see Skeet too, but now it's just like, okay, we saw him in 5. You don't need to bring him back.
Hey, and then he paycheck, all right? Gosh.
He grabs his knife and he's like, ooh, my favorite.
Yeah, that was a little corny.
Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Why did Gail leave her bedroom?
I thought the exact same thing. I was like, you are safe in there. There's no other entrance into your room. I get that you're trying to be tough. You call the cops and you wait. It's very simple.
I get that you want to go see if you got Ghostface, if you shot him.
Yep. Nope. Stay in there. Call the cops.
Yeah,
you have your gun with you, so you, at least if he comes in, you have a chance.
That was
the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, that was dumb.
So I also thought the scene with Kirby and Mindy was a little cheesy, where she's because it was a callback to 5 and 4. Because I didn't remember, but I guess Kirby was a big movie buff. She ended up movie buff.
Yep. We had just rewatched it, so I was like, oh, when she did it, I was like, oh yeah, she's the movie buff, so it made sense.
Yeah, it felt a little cheesy to me, but I will say I really liked the last one where she said Candyman series or Candyman original or remake, and they both go both.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
I even turned to Cindy and I said, "That's true." Actually, Cindy agreed because she's seen both. So
good.
Yep.
Candyman, The original or requel? Both.
I turned to my framed photo of you that I have above my couch, and I did a little tap on the nose, like
Oh,
buddy.
is that the portrait that someone painted of me?
It's
much like Rose from Titanic.
Did you really just say that? I was literally about to say it's a recreation of Rose from Titanic.
Yeah.
Honest to God, that's what I was about to say, and you.
I stole it. Sorry, dude.
This is why, ladies and gentlemen, this is why Andrew and I have a podcast. Oh my God, that's amazing.
I love you.
All right, did you notice? Not did you know, but did you notice which subway station they were standing in before they got on the train?
Oh,
96th Street. The year the first Scream came out.
Oh, nice. Right on. Like,
yeah, I caught that. Cool. I was like, that's nice. They didn't even mention that in the commentary, but
wow.
I still caught that. I was like, and I love the way Mindy treats Ethan when they're standing there. She's like, get your Ghostface ass away from me, Ghostface. So good.
She was right.
Going back to Danny.
I
love the way when Ghostface seems to be walking towards them, he just steps in front of Sam. Oh, come on, dude. I love that.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yes.
And he faces down, and I'm like, you're lucky that's not really Ghostface, but that's awesome. Yep, good job. Good job, good guy. Good guy.
Yep, good guy. Good guy, Scream. Good guy, Ghostface.
So now the theater.
Yes.
The final sequence in the theater, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about all that? It's a long sequence.
It is a long sequence. It's very long. I loved it. I thought I love the theater. I thought it was very cool, and I loved seeing, again, as a fan of the franchise, seeing like some of the outfits of the victims. I was like, oh, I know that one. Oh, I know that one. Oh, I remember that. And so that was kind of fun.
So as I'm also a fan of the franchise, but I know that I haven't seen the movies as much as you have.
Oh, okay.
I was actually excited for you when I saw all those props because I said to myself, Andrew is going to recognize so many of these that I barely recognize.
Nice.
Because I've seen every movie like maybe twice, maybe the first Scream 3 times.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen these movies a lot, even though I do enjoy them.
Right. No, I get that.
I'm a kid of the 80s,
I get hey man, I get it. And I'm a kid of the 90s.
Hey, I get that.
Yeah, it was, but I loved, especially like the one I loved because I was like, I know that outfit very well, was I don't remember her name, Dewey's sister in the first movie through the doggy door. I was like, I know that outfit.
Very nice. Yeah, I knew you would.
Yeah,
I actually wrote that down too. I thought there was a lot of good Easter eggs in that scene.
Yeah. What about you? What did you think of the whole sequence?
I thought it was good. I loved how over the top Dermot Mulroney got in that scene. Yes. I kind of loved how over the top Ethan got, Jack Champion, but at the same time, he was a little bit much.
Yeah, fair.
I thought Quinn was great. I thought she was just fantastic in that scene.
And scary too. She was kind of creepy in that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Liana Liberato.
Right on.
Yeah, I thought she was great. I loved Sam letting Tara go when she's holding Tara off the balcony.
Yeah. Yep.
Because that had deeper meaning with the rest of the movie.
Totally.
Because I do like their relationship a lot.
Yep.
I like how in the first movie their conflict was that Sam wasn't around enough. And in this movie, she's overbearing. She's around too much. So I did like that. And so the whole let me go.
Right. Yeah.
Of course it will.
Yep.
It'll be just right.
Just right. No, I agree though. The letting go was good. That was a good little.
And then her stabbing Ethan in the mouth.
Oh my God.
And then twisting the knife.
I know. I was like, oh no.
Now our buddy JD mentioned that when I was talking to him about it, And I was talking about how all these people get stabbed and they're fine. And he brought up the fact that Ethan comes back that one last time at the
Yeah,
end.
of
And
course.
I think I was okay with that just because it was kind of more of a callback.
Yeah, oh for sure. Yeah, it's all of them. Oh, I just went through puberty. Yeah, it's all of them.
I loved Sam stabbing, just
Oh,
like speed stabbing Officer Detective Bailey in the arms.
yeah, dude.
It
That
was
was
so brutal.
intense. Yeah,
And the
I
director
know.
said, yes, we absolutely were trying to outdo the first one, where
Yeah,
she stabs Richie 22 times.
I
I
think they
think
did it.
I think they counted, and I think they said it was around 43 or something.
Oh my God.
But it's just such a quick like stab, stab,
Yeah,
stab, and I was just like, wow, that's awesome.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, not that stabbing somebody is awesome,
Right, right. But in the movie world,
but it was an awesome scene.
yeah, it was.
And then I did like that she was feeling murderous,
Right.
but then Tara comes up, and you think
Mm-hmm.
that maybe Sam's gonna step back, and but then Tara is okay with Sam stabbing Officer Bailey in the eye.
Which I liked. I did. I appreciate that she was like, nah, he deserves it.
Yeah,
She's like, okay.
yeah, and Tara had her back. That was pretty cool.
Yep. Yep.
We haven't really talked about this. What did you think of Kirby?
I was just gonna ask you that. I thought it's always fun to see kind of a franchise character, quote unquote.
Like legacy characters.
Legacy, thank you. Legacy character, that's the one. And I like Hayden Panettiere, so I think she's fun. However,
Let's say that movie a little bit slower.
her name,
Panettiere.
Panettiere. There we go. Hayden Panettiere.
Panettiere. Hayden
Panettiere. How
Panettiere.
you doing? Hey, Panettiere over here. Come
Hayden
on.
Panettiere.
Hayden Panettiere. Thank you. No, she's great. I do feel though like it was almost like a who can we get kind of a thing because it was just I don't know. She could have had more. Like if you looked at five, like we saw our legacy characters, they had parts. I mean, they were like a big part of that movie. Whereas this one, I just it felt like she was just kind of a side character, like that was just thrown in a little. So I'm glad she lived because maybe we'll get to see her more and maybe it'll be a little bigger. I don't know, but that's my thought. I mean, I like seeing her, but
Yeah,
felt like they just needed somebody.
honest opinion. I thought she was a little stiff in the
That's
movie,
fair.
acting
That's fair.
wise. Like you, I did enjoy seeing her again.
Mm.
According to the directors, they wanted to put her in five.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
five was a little too stacked already.
Okay, that's fair.
And so it worked out that she was in six. But I will say it kind of felt because she wasn't in five,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of felt that she was who they got when they couldn't get Nev. You
Fair.
know,
Yep.
we
Yep.
couldn't get Nev in this movie because we couldn't pay her what she wanted.
Right.
Guys, pay Nev Campbell,
Yeah. Come
guys.
on.
Come on. So they got, you know, Wish version Sydney.
Touche, buddy.
Here's another little bit of trivia that maybe I don't know if anybody would have known this, but this is for our friend JD, if he's
Aw.
listening.
Hi,
JD,
JD.
hi JD. If you're
Mwah.
listening, at the end of the movie, when they're after they've killed Detective Bailey and they're walking out from the screen,
Mhm.
you see the Ghostface mask burning on the screen, and it says written and directed by Richie Kirsch. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
The font
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes.
that
Yes.
was used is the same font that was used in Twin Peaks seasons one and two.
Wow.
And the graphics person, I guess, put that in there because he knew, and this is again, I didn't know who was talking in the commentary, but one of the
Uh-huh.
guys talking in the commentary, maybe one of the directors, is a big fan of Twin Peaks.
Oh, okay.
The graphics person threw that in there as like, I know you're a big Twin Peaks fan, so here's some Twin Peaks font for you.
That's sweet. That's cute. That's awesome. Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah, JD will like that.
And also I thought the post credits scene was very funny. Did you stay for the end of the credits, buddy?
Yeah, what was it? Help me out.
It was Mindy, just real quick, saying, "Not every movie needs a post-credit scene," and
Oh,
then it
yes.
ended.
Yeah. Sorry, yes. I was like,
That was
what
very
was
funny.
it? For some reason, I went to the Cocaine Bear post-credit scene. I was like, no, that's not what it was.
Oh,
Don't
no.
know why.
Wrong episode.
Yep. Sorry.
Finally, we have the music. What did you think of the music, my friend?
I honestly don't remember. I don't have that note. Help me out.
What? The score? You didn't listen to the music?
I mean, yeah, but I guess I didn't. It didn't stick.
Okay, well, first of all,
Yeah.
you're a big Linkin Park fan, right?
Yes, I am.
The title song, the first song in the movie was Mike Shinoda. Yeah, it was written by Mike Shinoda and performed by
Cool.
Mike Shinoda of Linkin Park.
Oh,
In
my
fact,
bad.
they talked about how in Scream 5 they had to go through Spotify and try and find all these songs that would fit in the movie. In this one, they're just like, "Hey, why don't we ask Mike Shinoda to write us a song?"
That's awesome.
So there's that, and then during the
Cool.
during the end credits, it's I think Demi Lovato
Oh,
with a Mike Shinoda produced song.
dang, dude, that's cool.
There's some good needle drops in this movie, buddy. There's a little Billie Eilish, but most
Oh, yeah.
importantly, most importantly, they brought back three different themes. Scream 5, I believe, only brought back one theme, and that was Dewey's theme. But this movie
Okay,
brought
yeah.
back, I guess, the reporter's theme.
Okay, yeah.
Like every single early Scream when it would come out of the high school and all the reporters are out there and
Oh, I totally know it. I know exactly the sound. I do. Yep.
you know, there's that. There was Red Right Hand, I think it's called, by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds that always
I know
plays.
that song. Yep. I do remember that in the movie. Yes. I do remember that. Yes.
And then in the theater, Gail is talking to I forget who about Dewey, and Dewey's theme plays, and it was very sweet.
Nice. That's
Oh,
awesome.
and I also love that Gail still had a picture of her and Dewey on her bedstand,
Yeah, I know. That was sweet. That
even
was
though
sweet.
she was seeing that big strapping dude
I know.
who
Who
got
got
killed.
like killed pretty quick, but
Yeah.
whatever.
And she didn't seem too broken up over it.
I know when she sees his body, I was like, all right. I was like, gosh.
Well, even when Ghostface talks to her, he's like, "I killed your boyfriend." And she's like, "Yeah, you did." It's like, okay. So the score in this movie, just like Scream 5, was done by Brian Tyler, but also with another guy named Sven Faulconer. I've never heard of Sven, but Brian Tyler has done. He's done Marvel movies. He's done lots of movies.
That's awesome.
And I was listening to the soundtrack on Apple Music, and it's actually really good.
Nice.
Unfortunately, the soundtrack that you can get on CD, Apple Music, whatever, does not include Dewey's theme or the Gail Weathers reporter theme.
I hate when they do that. When I get it, like it's from other movies or whatever the rights, blah blah blah. I'm like, just add it.
I hate it. I'm with you.
I am too.
I forget. There's another movie. I think it was the Predator.
Oh, okay.
And I forget who did the score for that, but the score that was released on like streaming services and everywhere was so short because all they did was it was like an EP of all the original music, and it was so short because there was very little original music. The composer had just basically used Alan Silvestri's original Predator score and just redone that throughout the whole movie.
Oh my gosh. Well, that
it was so weird. So
yeah,
I would have liked to have had those included, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, but I do really like Brian Tyler's score and Sven Faulconer.
Nice.
So
love it.
I think that's it, buddy. Do you have any other notes?
I don't. I'm ready for 3 questions, dude.
Let's get some 3 questions done.
Who would cross the bridge of death must answer me these questions 3.
Question number 1. what did you think was the best kill or death in this movie?
So I guess his name is Wayne. It's Detective whatever, but his name, because I have it here, Wayne. Um, no, his death, like we said, I mean, he gets stabbed.
I mean, Detective Bailey?
Or Detective Bailey, yeah, Detective
Okay,
Bailey.
okay.
I mean, getting stabbed 42 times or whatever, and then that last one in the eye, I was just like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it was a twofold kill. So I give it to him. There were some good ones in this, but
Oh,
he takes it.
there's way too many good ones in this.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's also a lot that we can't count because the person did not die.
True, you're right.
So with that said, I'm going to go with Jason at the beginning because there's a moment where you see a little bit of his intestines about to come out.
That's right.
It's just a little bit brutal. And I think the thing that gets it is his screams. Like he does these screams that sound so real. Like I've never seen somebody stabbed in front of me, but I imagine that that's kind of what they sound like.
Right.
But I mean, there's so many good ones because
Yeah.
there's Ethan's death is great. It's very brutal. And then he gets the TV thrown on him.
Right.
Quinn's was kind of just whatever because she just gets shot in the head.
Right. Right.
But yeah,
That's
I'm
a
going to
bad
go with
one.
Jason, and you're going to go
Nice.
with Detective Bailey.
I love it. I love when we have different ones.
Andrew,
Yes.
question number 2. Did you think Scream 6 was scary?
I can honestly say I did not. I never have thought the Scream movies are scary. I think they're almost, for me, more suspenseful. You know what I mean? So I don't sit there and like, oh my gosh. I'm more like, ooh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
I
So
think suspense is a kind of scare, though.
okay, well,
I mean, maybe
yeah, I
not.
suppose that's true. So then I would say yes. I mean, because they are suspenseful for me.
I'm gonna say yes. I think this movie is scary. I'll be honest. I think this movie probably had me more tense in places than any other Scream movie,
That's fair. Yep.
even the first one.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I think the first one, except for the very opening scene of the first one, which is really scary,
Totally. Yes.
the rest of the movie is just a lot of fun
Mhm.
and fun in its tenseness. This movie had me on the edge of my seat more than once, and especially the subway scene.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I was
you're
so
right.
nervous during the subway scene, and that was just that scene is a master class in suspense and tension.
You're right. Yep.
Knowing that any of those ghost faces could be a killer, the lights going on and off in the subway cars, and then just the reactions of everybody. Like every time the lights would go off, like all the people in the subway cars would go, "Whoa,"
Yeah.
and it's like, and you know something's gonna happen, but you don't know when.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
man, so
That's fair.
good.
You're right. You are absolutely right. That scene is
And
brilliant.
I will say, last night,
Uh-huh.
after watching the movie with the commentary at work,
Yeah.
I went into the kitchen. All the lights were off, and for just one quick moment, I was a little bit nervous. And I imagined somebody dressed as Ghostface in the corner, waiting for somebody to come into the kitchen to attack them. And I was like, wow, Scream 6 just got under my skin just the tiniest bit.
Nice. I love it. I love
So,
it.
yeah, I'm going to say,
That's
yes,
awesome.
this is a scary movie. Andrew, did you have fun with horror?
I think we know this. Of course I did. I had a lot of fun with this movie, man. It's a Scream franchise movie. I'm happy. I'm always happy with these. So yeah, definitely. And you?
I had so much fun with horror. Despite all my little quibbles,
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was a really fun movie, and I'll definitely have fun watching it again. And I think it's overall better than other Scream movies. So,
Yeah, fair. Yep, very fair.
I almost died after I was stabbed. Technically, I did die for 4 minutes. When I recovered, I got mad. I didn't want to spend the rest of my life being afraid of monsters. I wanted the monsters to be afraid of me. I like that.
All right, buddy. So I picked a very new movie, and I'm wondering, are you picking something new, or are we jumping back again like you did recently?
Well, buddy, full disclosure. And once again, as I said at the very beginning of the podcast, I apologize for the discrepancy in our microphones. We're actually recording this a couple days after recording the bulk of the episode.
You're right.
Because I actually picked a different movie before, because the movie I wanted to pick, I wasn't sure if it was coming out on time to be able to see it. Well, we just got word today, heard the news that it is actually releasing today, the day that this podcast is airing.
Nice.
Therefore, my next movie is, of course, Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, baby.
Which is, yeah. What were you saying?
No, I just said I'm so excited. I'm excited for this one.
I can tell. Yeah, so the movie I originally picked shall remain a secret until I pick it again. But yeah, for now, Evil Dead Rise, today it's on digital VOD, I guess.
Okay.
So you can purchase and rent it. I don't think it's streaming anywhere for free.
Right.
I could be wrong. Check and make sure. But yeah, Evil Dead Rise, buddy. We get to see it.
Bud. I'm so excited.
Me too. Me too.
I've heard of those movies. I think isn't that the one with the Asher? That's what it is.
Asher Calmwell.
That's what it is. I thought so. For all those listening, I know the Evil Dead movies. These are jokes.
Yeah.
Please don't hurt me.
He loves Army of Driftwood.
I do.
It's his favorite.
That is my favorite. I love the weed whacker as a hand. I think that's pretty neat.
Oh, it's my favorite. Because a weed whacker would hurt.
As someone that's hit his ankle numerous times with a weed whacker, it does hurt. It does.
Is that a true story?
Yeah.
Did you draw blood?
No. It just stings really bad. It's almost like I don't know what you'd call it, like just plastic, really hard plastic that I've used, and it hurts, man. It stings.
Man, that's not the weed whackers I used. The weed whackers I used would have like taken off a limb.
Dang, dude. Oh, I use I guess I have the cheap stuff.
The Fisher Price weed whacker.
Yeah, isn't that what they all are? They don't work well.
It hurt.
Ouch.
Ouch. Anyway. All right, everybody. Well, Andrew, I love you.
I love you too, buddy.
And we love everybody out there. Don't forget, everybody, we're on social media. We're on Instagram, Fun with Horror Podcast. We're on Twitter at FunWHorror. We're on Facebook. We have a Fun with Horror Podcast Facebook group. And of course, you can email us at funwithhorrorpodcast@gmail.com.
Nice.
And stay tuned, everybody, because on the 21st of May, Sunday night, Fangoria is airing it's this year's the 2023 Chainsaw Awards. That'll be exclusively on Shudder. That's 6 o'clock Pacific time and 9 o'clock Eastern time.
That sounds right. Yeah.
And as we did last year, it'll be our second annual recap episode. We're gonna go through all the winners and talk about who won and who we thought should have won.
Yeah, buddy.
I love that episode. That was fun.
That was fun.
So it's gonna be fun again with horror.
There you go.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Thank you for the lively conversation.
Of course. Thank you for picking this movie.
I'm so excited for you.
I'm excited for you.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.
Not every movie needs a post-credit scene.